You've tuned in to another edition of The Break Room, a weekly conversation about how the City of St. Augustine works from those who do the work every day. Hosted by the City of St. Augustine's Communications Director, Melissa Wissel, The Break Room offers a closer look at the different city departments and provides updates on current and upcoming projects and events. And now your host, Melissa Wissel.
Welcome to The Break Room. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Melissa Wissel, Communications Director for the City of St. Augustine. If you've been around town lately, you may have noticed some new bike racks around. Not just any old bike racks, but racks fully loaded with bikes. And not just regular bikes, but e-bikes. Eventually, there will be 110 of them, to be exact. They are power assisted with some other cool features, and I have invited the city's mobility coordinator, Xavier Pellissier, to join me this week and tell us all about the e-bikes. X, welcome.
Cool. Glad to be here, Melissa.
Great, cool program. They're hot turquoise, my favorite color. They get people's attention. Tell us about them.
It's been great. It's been a program. Our bike share program is something we've been talking about for 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It finally got some traction a couple of years ago, and so there was, out of the hardship that's been going on for the past year and a half, we're finally kind of coming out of that a little bit, and so we're finally getting to where we wanted to be a couple of years ago.
Right.
But it's a program that we've kind of got a phase one that we're stepping into, and we're slowly stepping into it. We've got, the intent is to have 110 bikes out there for this phase one.
Okay.
Currently, we've got about 70 bikes out there. We started, say, 2 or 3 weeks ago. We had 4 bike station hubs out there with about 30 bikes, and then the following week we grew it up to about 7 locations with about 50 bikes, and now currently we're up to 10 different stations with about 70 bikes. And so hopefully over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll get it all the way up to our phase one goal, which is 110 bikes out there. And the stations, they're located around the historical downtown area, and the intent is to grow this thing farther and farther out into the community. Eventually maybe grow it all the way out to St. Augustine Beach or get it out there into Volano Beach. But right now it's kind of central to the core of the downtown area. We do have a station over on Davis Shores near the intersection of Arredondo at Anastasia Boulevard, and then there's also the amphitheater is a big spot. They have a large bike rack area out there. When they have their events, there's a lot of folks that are parking a little bit away, and then they're either walking or biking to the amphitheater. But that's with that same thought process of biking to the amphitheater, you can bike into the downtown.
Right.
And so that's what we're growing, and so far we've received 0 complaints.
Wonderful.
That's unbelievable.
Right. Yeah.
At least to a person.
That's wonderful.
To a person
Nobody get any bright ideas either to call and complain.
To a person like me that's in a position that normally receives these
You hear
these
a lot from the community, don't you?
Yes, I normally handle a lot of complaints on a lot of different things. Mobility coordinator, I deal with parking issues, and so I deal with a lot of parking complaints.
That's great news.
But so it's amazing to me is I haven't received the first complaint on this.
And what's interesting about that, the Gotcha bikes, the folks who manage the bikes, they actually help maintain them. We, the city, we've provided a parking spot essentially for the bikes. It's not any cost to us, and the maintenance is not any cost to us.
Right.
Tell me about that.
And they like to call it Gotcha powered by Bolt, and so they were bought out by the Bolt company. But I know we were chatting a little bit, and Melissa wanted to talk about. Well, go ahead and get to.
I just thought it was interesting. I had no idea that the Bolt company itself, Boat Mobility as it is actually co-founded by Olympic gold medalist or 8-time Olympic gold medalist Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt. Well,
so bicycle riding, lightning fast. So just a little piece of trivia there I thought was interesting.
So you wanted to give me a gold medal?
Yeah, that's right.
I'll take it.
No complaints. I give you a gold medal for that.
Yeah. But it's been cool. I'm sorry, I got off target a little bit.
We were talking Gotcha, the folks that run the bike program. They actually come in and
Yeah,
pick it up for us.
I'm back with you. So Gotcha, they handle everything. So this is not costing the city anything. And this is totally funded by Flagler Health Plus. Flagler Health Plus has come in and they have really stepped up, and they are a driving force. They're
right.
the ones that really brought this in. So it's a combination effort. Flagler Health Plus, the city, and Gotcha. And so the city, all we're doing is providing areas around town, and really the areas that we're providing are in areas where we already have bike racks.
Right.
So for the past 5 or 10 years, the city's been putting out bike racks, and so we've been seeing how bikes have been growing. There's more and more uses of bikes in the downtown area, and so this is just a continuation of that philosophy. And it appears to be growing. And these bikes, they have like GPS capability, and so on each bike you can see where each bike is. And so we'll be getting monthly reports from Gotcha, and we'll talk about, well, where are the main uses? Where do we need to massage a hub from this location to maybe a couple of blocks down the road or something? And so this will be a program that will continue to grow. It will continue to
kind of evolve.
That's the word I was searching for, and so we're excited.
And the GPS is interesting. We also mentioned this in some of our information that we put out in the press release. That GPS thing, the geo fencing, there's areas in the city too. If you're riding on the bicycle, don't be surprised if you get into a certain space and it all of a sudden slows down, or does it just downright stop?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
There are some areas, for instance, St. George Street. We have, it's kind of a pedestrian mall, if you will, and so a lot of folks do not want the scooter bikes, or they don't want the bicycles, or they don't want any of these mobility type devices running up and down St. George Street. So that's a main place, and then also say the Plaza area. So,
and that's with our ordinances too. That helps keep our bike riders obeying those rules that
exactly
underman-powered might not know.
Yeah, and so these bikes, they are pedal assist. Like you said, they're battery operated. You have to be pedaling in order for the pedal assist to kick in.
Okay.
And so that will not work. The pedal assist does not work in these geo-fenced areas where the bikes are not supposed to be. So they don't really put the brakes on, but it makes it a little bit more difficult to operate. And the bikes can still be safely operated, but and then they are actually also dinged a little bit with extra little charge if they do get into some of these areas where they're not supposed to be. So so that kind of weeds it out also, and it will continue to grow. If we start getting complaints on that, we'll come up with ways
no complaints.
to. So far, knock on wood, but we can. Continue to grow this thing. Right now, the businesses seem to be all on board. They love it. They're actually calling us up and asking us, can we get some of these bike racks in front
nearby
of our store? So we're starting to feel and see some of that. Right now, we really haven't put the big splash out there yet. I know Flagler Health Plus would love to have a big ribbon cutting ceremony, and that would give us a chance to really thank Flagler Health Plus for bringing this into fruition, but with the COVID thing going on right now, we're shying away from having any real gatherings. But we'll do that somewhere down the future, and we're working out little teeny bugs and stuff like that. We're still trying to get some concrete pads built where some of the bike racks are, and so. It's still continuing to grow, but right now, so far, knock on wood, it's been working beautifully.
Good.
Like I said, no complaints is unbelievable to me.
Well, if you're just now tuning in, you're listening to The Break Room. I'm Melissa Whistle, Communications Director for the City of St. Augustine, with X Pellissier, the city's mobility coordinator, and we're talking about the new e-bike bike share program launched in partnership with Flagler Health Plus and Bolt Mobility. You were mentioning the bikes. I know I do want to just make this plug as you were talking about it. It's in line with the city's vision of a mobile city that our residents want to be able to get out and move around and get around the city mobility-wise, but also supporting the hospital's vision of, the health of our community, physical, social, and economic health. So I do love that we've got this partnership with Flagler Health Plus. real quick too, the bikes themselves, you can unlock them. There's an app. Let's make sure we tell folks it's called Gotcha Powered by Bolt, and it is in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. There is a charge. It's $1 to unlock and 35 cents a minute to ride them. And the idea really is that you might pick one up, ride it into town, and take it to another hub, do your business, and then get your bike again?
Yeah, well, the way that pricing is set up is like as if you're going to just use it one time.
Okay.
But there's also some other different packages, and really you need to go through the Gotcha app,
Right.
and then the Gotcha folks can give you more details on the different pricing packages. But say you can get a package for a month or for a year,
Okay.
and then that way you don't have to worry about paying money for every minute and
Gotcha.
stuff like that. And so, you think about Flagler College kids and stuff like that. They're in here for 2 or 3 months for a semester, and they're at the dorms down there near the Malaga Street area, and then they want to ride a bike down. And so there's a bike hub station up in that vicinity of Malaga, and there's another bike hub station closer into the downtown heart of the Flagler College area. But that's this isn't built around just the Flagler College
Sure.
kids. It's also built around the city residents.
Right.
And so we've got a bike hub station all the way up on the north end of San Marco Avenue. And so a lot of the folks that live up in that vicinity, they think, well, how can they get into the heart of the down core
Right.
area without having to drive their car down here, find a parking spot? They can easily just get the bike. They can take it from that one hub straight down to a hub that's somewhere down here in the vicinity of the downtown area, and then they're done.
Yeah, hand it in.
And
That's up near the 30. Is that up near the parking lot? The space that when we're running shuttles, it's right up there, north end of town.
It's very close to that.
Great.
Yeah. So and what you're talking about, Melissa, just for our listeners, is that we have our shuttle program. And we do plan on kicking in our shuttle program again for the Nights of Light season.
Great.
We took last season off for our shuttle system because
We'll have you back to talk about that.
Yeah, I'll be glad to come back.
That's exciting.
And so this thing will evolve, and so far,
Now let me ask you.
great.
Let me ask you this question: what if I leave my bike somewhere for two things? Do they get back to the bikes? I would think that might be one of the complaints would be that there's all these bikes lying around. We're not seeing that, or does Gotcha take care of that?
Yes.
Okay.
And so they have a local guy that's right here, and so he keeps an eye on things. And like I was saying, there's GPS on each bike, and so he's watching this and he's seeing it. And if somebody wants to ride a bike, and say they do want to go to a store that's off the beaten path somewhere, they can put a hold on their bike and just put it in a bike rack. Any bike rack that's nearby the place that they're visiting, and they just put a temporary hold on it so the bike will stay there. And then they go in, eat lunch, shop, come back out an hour later or something, and they've got their same bike right there. They can get on it and go gallivanting around town. And so
it's really going to help us get around.
Right.
We hope.
And as far as the community and everything, this isn't really anything different than the bikes that have been around for decades.
Right.
So there's already been bikes
just
around
providing
town.
them.
We're just making it easier for the people who don't own bikes.
Great.
And they have to obey the laws. They have to ride the bikes and stuff. And the traffic and obey the laws just like anybody else. Let me go ahead and a lot of times there's always somebody that wants to talk about the bikes on the Bridge of Lions.
Right.
And so that's one thing I like about this is they have pedal assist.
Right.
And so say you don't have a strong bike rider with the pedal assist, it helps them motor on across
Get
the Bridge
on
of
across
Lions.
the Bridge of Lions.
Because I have
Good
heard
to know.
comments from folks over many years, ever since they put those sharrows out on the middle of
Yep.
the DOT put the sharrows out in the road, which the sharrows is kind of a slang term that says they are allowing bikes to ride out in the middle of the vehicular traffic.
Right.
And so, I don't want to say the nasty word road rage, but but you get the folks that don't want to slow down.
Right.
And so this pedal assist actually moves that bike
Moves you
on
right
across
along.
that bridge pretty quick. So then now it's not too bad.
Good.
So that's where that pedal assist really does. provides a much nicer convenience over a normal bike,
Right.
if you will.
Right.
So that's some extra little perks, if you will, that
There you go.
that make it even nicer and easier than a regular bike.
And I'm going to have to pause us to wrap up our interview. We didn't even talk about helmets. The website that you can get to, which is the website is ridegotcha.com. So lots of information about that. Check them out when you see them all around town, downtown, on the island, West King Street. Keep your eye out. You can't miss them. Turquoise, Jags Teal, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Bikes.
And if anybody has any questions on them, please call me.
Okay.
Xavier Pellissier, Melissa calls me X.
There you go.
A lot of folks around town here know me as X Pellissier. And please call me. I'll be glad to give you all kinds of information about it.
209-4211.
Yeah, that's me. That's
There
my
you
phone
go.
number.
Excellent. X, thanks for stopping by, and we'll be on the lookout for some e-bikes.
Anytime, Melissa. I always enjoy coming in here talking with you.
Excellent. As we wrap up this edition of The Break Room, if you missed part of this broadcast and want to go back and listen from the beginning, you can find it online at citysainogradio.com. Remember that in order to stay connected, you need to be connected. Be sure to like us and follow us on any of our social media platforms. You'll find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City St. Aug. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.
You've been listening to The Break Room, a weekly program addressing projects and programs offered by the City of St. Augustine. Join us each week as the city's communications director, Melissa Wissel, has in-depth conversations with the people who make our town work to meet the needs of our community. The Break Room is produced by communications specialist for the City of St. Augustine, Cindy Walker, and engineer by Flagler College communication major, Anne Marie Gresham. See you at this time next week for another edition of The Break Room.